Hey everyone, and welcome to TBR Cards Pick My September TBR. I'm still not using TBR Assemble at the moment simply because the strikes are ongoing and I do not want to be promoting struck work by accidentally pulling any of my Marvel film based TBR cards from the TBR pack, essentially. So instead I am going to be using the TBR cards that I have just made for a TBR game that I am selling on Etsy. It's a very simple TBR game. It's just a pack of cards that you then pull cards out of and you get that prompt. So let's go into the rolls and exactly what I'm going to be reading for them. So this is the TBR cards, and I must say a absolutely massive thank you to everybody who sent me their suggestions and things like this as I was making this. I was asking for like design choices and things, and thank you to absolutely everybody on TikTok and also Instagram who gave me their answers. For those of you who really liked the falling book design, I've also made that available as a like optional back for the cards, so if you wanted that, it's still there and it's available if your printer can sort of like do double-sided, or you can maybe put it on like the outside of the box you put them in, that kind of thing, but it is there and available if you want it. This is also very much like generalized prompts, so it can fit anybody. I've got on here like non-fiction, graphic novels, give an author a second chance, give a book a second chance, a book over 500 pages, this kind of thing, while also covering all of the age ranges. I've also got in here like read a poetry collection, read a thriller, horror, fantasy, classic, all of the rest of it. And then like other prompts, as you can see, I'll go through them some more as I go through what I'm going to be reading with what my random number generator comes out with. But anyway, so I've tried to make this as general as possible, but if I do land on something that I can't fulfill, then I'm just going to scroll downwards or scroll upwards to the nearest prompt that I can actually do, because obviously this is not personalised to me, whereas my usual TBR game is, but we're using this one this month. So let's go into the first roll, and that's giving me 29, okay. So that is to read a poetry collection, which I can't do. Great start there. So we scroll down one and it's going to be Read a TBR Vet. The first card that I got was Read a TBR Vet, so I'm going for The Hunger Games because I've owned this since 2009 and I haven't read it yet. I've owned it that long, I've looked at it multiple times, it is on my priority TBR for the year, and I think it's about time I got to it. This is so old that the pages have gone yellow, and I actually have the special edition that means you can choose, if I can get it right, to, like, it doesn't just sort of try and hit me in the face, but you can choose who you want in that little hole in the cover. That's how old this book is. I have never seen this again anywhere, and yeah, I haven't read it. I haven't read it before. It's about time I did. You all know what The Hunger Games is about, so I'm not going to explain it, but very excited, if a little nervous, because this is a very hyped book that I've never read, so we'll see how I feel about it. We'll see, and we'll get going with The Hunger Games at last. The second roll is number 35, so that is Start a New Series. I like that. I mean, I'm trying to finish series, but I can start new series as well if I must. My next prompt was to start a new series, so I'm going for The Dead Lucky. This is a comic book series all about a woman who had an incident in Afghanistan that killed her entire platoon, but left her being able to control electricity, and now she is trying to hold it together and try and save her city against a tech consortium. This was part of my Waypoint Full Moon subscription box. This was my surprise book, and I am so excited to read this. It sounds amazing. The artwork in here also looks absolutely amazing. Can I find a really good bit? There we go. It looks like this on the inside. I had never heard of this comic before. I'm hoping it's part of a series. I mean, it says volume 1, so I'm hoping it's part of a series. It sounds like it could be part of a series, so I'm kind of hoping on that. If not, I will change it to another book that will start a new series. But either way, I'm very curious about this because I've never heard of it before, but it sounds right up my alley because somehow Hannah always manages to do this and picks out comics that I have never heard of before. but sound really good, and I will definitely enjoy them. I don't know how she does this, but she keeps on doing it. And if you want to see what Hannah would surprise you with, you can use the code BeccaFM23 at checkout to get 30% off your first box to see what Hannah surprises you with. Roll number 3 is 21. So if I scroll back upwards to 21, reread an old favourite. My next prompt was to reread an old favourite, so I'm going for I Am Groot, because this is really cute, really short, and it just looks adorable. It was adorable. Who am I kidding? I know it was adorable. I read it last year. It was the cutest thing I've ever read, apart from like Heartstopper and It's Jeff. So that tells you something. It was absolutely adorable. I loved it. I want to reread it, so I'm going to be rereading it. Next roll is number 2. So we go all the way back up to number 2, and that is to read a sci-fi. Interesting. Next I pulled Read a Sci-Fi, so I'm going for the other book Hannah sent me as part of my full moon subscription box, which is Victory is Greater Than Death by Charlie Jane Anders. And this is all about Tina, who has been a hidden clone of a famed alien hero, and she knows that her beacon will activate one day soon, finally making her dreams of saving the universe and adventuring among the stars possible. But it turns out things aren't quite what she expected. It's far more dangerous, and everyone in the galaxy is expecting her to actually be the brilliant like alien hero that she was cloned from, and things like this. I've heard really good things about this one. It sounds really intriguing, and it's definitely a sci-fi, so really can't wait to read this. Look out for the reading vlog that I read this and The Dead Lucky as well in. Fifth roll is number 21, which I think we've already had. Have we already had 21? Yeah, so I'm going to roll again because I've already got that prompt, and if this was a printed out game, I wouldn't be using the same prompt twice. So if we go to number 3, and that is to read a myth-based book. Then for read a myth-based book, I've gone for the Red Scrolls of Magic, because this one is based in the Shadowhunters universe, so there are warlocks. Obviously warlocks are a main part of this because it's following Magnus and Alec, and Magnus is a warlock, but there's also like vampires, werewolves, fae, all of that kind of thing, all of those types of mythological creatures, and that's why I'm counting it. And this one is all about the fact that Magnus wanted to go on a lavish trip around Europe with Alec as like a little sort of romantic getaway kind of thing, and then it turns out that there's a cult that's worshipping demons, and they are hell-bent on causing chaos around the world. And Magnus is like, I may have accidentally started that cult as a joke years ago, so probably my problem, and they have to go and deal with it. I'm just excited for this. I love Magnus, I love Alec, I love them together. I'm so excited to read this, especially after I finished Queen of Air and Darkness recently, and then also recently rewatched the original Mortal Instruments movie. Like the original one with Jamie Campbell-Bower and Lily Collins. I absolutely love that movie. It was my childhood, so I'm now just sort of reinvigorated with Shadowhunters at the moment, so cannot wait to read this one. It sounds so good. I've heard amazing things. I know I love Cassandra Clare's work, so cannot wait to be back in the Shadowhunters universe and to just be following my favourite characters again. Very excited for that. And then my final roll is going to be number 36. Down, 36, which is read a book over 500 pages. Actually, no, that's fine. That's fine. We've got Fragile Threads of Power, which I'm pretty sure is over 500 pages. Okay, that's fine. I nearly, was like, oh, no, but that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Right. There we go. That's the TBR. If you want to have a look at a couple of the other cards in here, if I just scroll upwards to, the teen section, because we didn't actually see any of those, but there's, read a book that makes you laugh, read an underrated author, so that can be any author that you think is underrated. There is read a physical book, read a library book, finish a series, continue a series, read a female author, because I think we can all read more female authors, read an LGBTQI plus author, read a disabled author, read a sad book, read a priority book, read a small book, read a female-led book. There's also read an e-book, read a BIPOC author. I've tried to cover as many prompts as physically possible here, along with villain origin, this kind of thing. If we scroll downwards, I mean, you get the idea. There's a lot of different genres here as well. I've tried to cover as many as possible. There's all the age ranges as well, all of this kind of thing, so you can kind of get the idea, and I hope you really like those. But now let's get into exactly what I picked for that 500 pages, if you couldn't already tell. And then the final prompt I pulled was over 500 pages, which initially panicked me, and then I remembered that Fragile Threads of Power is coming out, and that is sitting at a massive chunker of 736 pages. So it's definitely over that 500 mark. And I'm scared of it, but at the same time I'm so excited because it's new V.E. Schwab, and not only that, it's new V.E. Schwab set in the Dark Shade of Magic universe, and Kel and Rye and Lila and Alucard are all back again, and we're meeting new characters as well, but they're back again. The core four are back again, and I'm so excited. I love this world so much. I've been rereading Dark Shade of Magic recently. I'm literally halfway through Conjuring of Light at time of filming, so I cannot wait to read a new story in this universe set like 7 years after the Conjuring of Light, and just meet new characters in this world and be like part of a new story within this world and actually be around when it's releasing. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm ridiculously excited. I cannot tell you how excited I am. I mean, you can probably tell, but I'm so ridiculously excited for this. You have no idea. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this. I'm beside myself with excitement. I'm beside myself. I cannot tell you how excited I am. I cannot wait. I'm dropping everything to read this as soon as it comes through my door. I'm not kidding. I'm dropping everything to read it. And then I actually only have two other things that I want to mention for this video, because to be honest, I wanted a slightly smaller reading month this month, because I've been really pushing myself over the last couple of months and like really stressing out about not finishing my TBR and things like this, and I just didn't want that this month. I really didn't want that. I wanted a chill month. I wanted to like relax into it and just sort of try and just sort of chill out a little bit. So the only other two things I want to mention is my audiobook, which is Iron Widow. I am finally listening to this. I cannot wait. This is all about like mech robots, and then also like female rage and polyamorous relationships, if I remember rightly. I know there's a lot of female rage in here, which I'm absolutely here for. I've heard amazing things about it, especially about like the audiobook, and I actually have a decent amount of time to actually listen to this audiobook, so I'm going to give it a go now, and I cannot wait. And then the only other thing to mention is look out for the little guy. This is the Ant-Man biography that is mentioned in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, because in the Marvel Universe he has written an autobiography, and it's all about like being Ant-Man and what happened on the final battle in Endgame and all the rest of it. And I've had this on pre-order for a really long time, and I'm now really excited to read it because I love Ant-Man. I love Scott so much, so I'm really excited to just read this full like book all about him that's supposed to be written in his voice and all the rest of it. It's a really sort of cool thing, and I cannot wait to read it. But I think that's all that there's going to be for this video, because like I said, I really wanted to like take it slow, and I think this is going to work out at about 110 pages a day, I think it is, which is absolutely doable for me. It feels really like nice and relaxed, I guess, and that's just what I wanted for September. I wanted a nice sort of relaxing month before I go into October and November, which are very, very busy and like reading and like event heavy months and things. I just wanted a nice sort of calming, relaxing month, which I'm hoping September is going to be. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me a book you want to read in September. I'd love to know. Or if you don't have that much time, leave me an alien emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link as well down below to all my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics, as well as the link as well down below to my Etsy store. That includes the link there for that TBR game if you want to get a copy of it for yourself, or if you just want to see any more of my videos and see if I read all of these books, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time everyone, bye!